Okay, so this is reading 786 for JH. My name is Amethyst Trelevin and this is a psychic Ogham reading number 786 for JH. Okay, let's have a look and see what's going on for you. Okay, now we'll start here and we'll work our way around as we usually do. This first Ogham stave is older or Fian, and this themes all of your reading, JH. This is about giving and receiving advice. It's about sometimes feeling insecure and listening to other people and hoping that they're coming up with the advice that you want. But it's also about giving advice, and you've been feeling a little bit neglected of late. We'll pick up a little bit more on that as we go through. I don't want to spend too much time here. I want to spend most of our time here. Okay, so over here, this on here, this stave here is holly or tone, and this represents or this themes the last of your 12 months in particular. It's about obstacles and things not going the way that you would want them to go, things being a nuisance, challenges, particularly challenges that you've placed in your way though. So decisions that you've made that didn't quite go the way they should, or you holding back from what you really want to do. We'll pick up a little bit more on that as well. Under here we have Muin or vine, and over the top of that we have gorse or on. Now, Muin, vine, is very much about harvesting what you reap. It's about getting the rewards for the hard work that you've put in. But over the top of this, in this particular instance, is gorse. And so when you put these two together in this kind of way, what it says is that, yeah, sure, you've put the hard yards in, but you haven't always been able to get out of that what you would want. It's been a case very often of living from day to day or week to week because the goals that you put in place haven't come to the fore. Here we have heather, which is just a beautiful, beautiful stave, and this is in the position of right now, what's happening for you right now. Heather is very much about love, partnership, peace, and so on. Now for you, this is about stability, or the need for you for stability, financial and health-wise, and romantically, I guess, as well, with your relationships. For you, that's a pivotal point at this point. Let's go over here though, and we'll spend most of our time here, because this is where the real meat of the reading is for you. This here is aspen, and this is an Ogham that themes the next 12 months for you. Aspen is a little bit about fear and doubt. Aspen says that you know what you want, but you tend to hold back just a little bit as well. There are things that you want to do, there are places that you want to go, there are people that you want to see, there are experiences that you want to take part in, but you hold yourself back. There's been a lack of self-confidence for you, and this themes your ongoing 12 months, which is frustrating. I know. These two here, underneath here we have ash or newen, and that's about transition and changes going on around you. That's to do with the house selling or otherwise, where you're living, the job that you're in, all of that kind of stuff. It's about the physicality of life, if you like. And sitting over the top of that is Lewis or Rowan. And here we have that protection again, that self-protection that you put into place. You've taken risks in the past, particularly with your heart, and it hasn't always been beneficial or helpful for you. And so you tend to be a little bit careful with your heart and not give away too much. You also tend to be a little bit careful with money. And for you, the physicality of money is much more around security and stability, and so the need to be as secure as you emotionally as you would like, so that you feel rested and relaxed enough to take more risks. Underneath here we have Huath or Hawthorn, and this kind of is the undercurrent for the year ahead for you, and this is very much about obstacles and challenges and things getting in the way. Now, Huath or Hawthorn says that you won't necessarily get the goals and reach the goals that you achieve in the time frames that you want, but you will achieve them. And we know that you have the capacity to achieve goals, because over here we have Muin or Vine, which talks very much about you having that kind of undercurrent within you that says, if I write down my goals, if I'm specific with my goals, at least I've got something to aim for. And Huath agrees with that, and it says very much that you will achieve your goals for the coming year ahead, but be prepared for there to be obstacles and challenges and things that get in the way. So those goals won't come when you necessarily want them to, and there might be some things that kind of stand in the way for you to get them. So for you, it's about thinking about what your plan A and your plan B is to get to the goal. So if the goal, for instance, is over here, Hawthorn says you can't just head straight for the goal, because the Hawthorn will get in the way and will make it very, very difficult. What you need to do is find a way around, which is your plan B, to get to your goal. Now, for you, that's around things like selling the house and whether you're in the right job and all of that kind of stuff. So let's kind of expand on that a little bit more now. You asked me about whether the house will sell or whether you should take it off the market. I'm afraid I don't see it selling in the short term at all. Yes, I see it being sold in the longer term, but what I'm seeing there is that that's not until 2014, so that's actually a long way away. You may well make the choice to take the house off the market in the meantime, and give yourself a break from the pressure of trying to sell that for the next 6 to 9 months or so, and then pick up again when you're in a much healthier position in terms of your emotional stability and your strength, so that you can then go forward in the selling of that house again. I'm sorry, I know that's not the news that you wanted to hear, but that's what the staves here are talking about. You also wanted to know whether you should stay in the remaining accommodation that you're in or whether you should downsize. The staves are saying here that, look, particularly with this one here, you get what you want, and you will get it eventually. So I'm going to suggest to you that you stay exactly where you are if that's what makes you happy, and stop taking pressure off yourself. The trees are telling me quite strongly you place so much pressure on yourself, and you tell yourself things all the time about, I should be doing this, I should be doing this, I should be seeing this, I should be doing that, I should be saying that, I should be feeling this. This is older coming in here, by the way, of course, with all of that advice giving, when what you actually need to have is a few months of just relaxation. So that's why the trees are suggesting that you perhaps take the house off the market for a wee while, have a bit of a breather. But if you are happy living where you are right now, and I think you are, then I suggest that you stay exactly where you are. Also, in terms of your job, yes, you have made the right choice with the job. Just stick with it. Those concerns that you have and those worries that you continue to berate yourself with, here's older again, all that self-talk that you have, those doubts that you have, that doubt in your self-confidence and your ability, find ways to stop those self-doubts, because you sabotage yourself when you are really capable and you are so able to do everything, but you tell yourself that you can't. You can succeed, you will succeed. Relax. It's about relaxing in the next 6 months or so, rebuilding, regrowing, so that you can come back to life with renewed vigour, if you will. What I do see though is definitely a change of location for you in late 2014. So I actually see that as being a fairly hefty location change as well. I'm saying location change, not house move necessarily, because that of course might be due to the fact that the living arrangements that you're in right now mean that you take that with you when you go to a new place. But it's definitely a new location for you in the second half of 2014. You're in a different geographical place. It also means then that there's a different geographical job for you as well. There's also a change again, or an advancement, if you will, in your career. You're gonna add a couple of things to that career choice that you had, which means that you expanded a little bit more. That means you're going to need to take on some new forms of training and some new forms of skill building, but that stimulates you, that motivates you again, and it pushes you forward one more time. You tend to have this capacity to go in fits and starts. So you go hell for leather for something, and then the steam runs out, and then you pick it up again and the steam runs out. Now there's nothing wrong with that at all, but one way to kind of, instead of doing this and instead just do this nice steady raise towards your motivation, is to re-look at those goals again. And we know that you do that because there's Vine there. But instead of waiting to look at those goals, re-evaluate those goals in a smaller time frame. So once every 3 months, I encourage you to look at your goals and say, are they current? Do we need to update those? In terms of health, I think it's really important that you have a little bit of me time. That's what that relaxation is all about. Now, I'm not saying give up your job, give up your career. It's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is find ways to take the pressure off yourself until about November, December of 2013. Find ways where, if that means delegating tasks to other people, so be it. If that means giving up on things that are not important to you, then so be it. And that includes perhaps taking the pressure off yourself to sell the house during that time as well. I really encourage you to spend a little bit more time with water so that you can relax just a little bit more and enjoy a little bit more of who you are instead of always striving to where you need to be. Now, your Celtic birth tree is this tree here, which is Dewar or oak. I've got to say, this is actually my favourite tree, and it really does talk about who you are, which is strong, capable, willing to go the extra yards. You're dependable. You're the one that people come to get things done. But of course the downside to that is that you tend to give to other people an awful lot without necessarily giving to yourself. That's typical of oak people. Oak people are wise, they're very reliable and dependable, but they're also motivated, as are you. Oak people also inspire other people, and you have a creative streak within you which is not being used as much as it could. I don't see that necessarily as being art, but there are art forms that you are clever at, and I really encourage you to pick up with those and run with those a little bit more. Your birth deity, your Celtic birth deity, is the Dugda, a really strong, very, very strong deity, so I encourage you to have a look at that. And your Celtic birth animal is Wren, and that has some amazing magical transformational capacities, so I really encourage you to have a look at that. Now, also your Druid animal oracle, which is part of this reading, and that is Swan. Now this is fabulous. Swan is very sensitive, is very graceful, incredibly loyal, mates for life, passionate. One of the beautiful things about Swan is that they're dedicated to the people, the events, the situations that they love. So for you, when you commit to marriage, you do so wholly for instance. When you commit to a job, you do so with all of your being, utterly and utterly devoted. The swan's also very graceful, but the swan also has the capacity to look very graceful on the surface, but underneath their little feet are paddling away like mad. So for you, again, that's about taking a holiday this year from all of that mad paddling that you do. To other people, you look like you're in control, and you do a very good job of that, but underneath there's quite a lot of tension. So swan is about letting that go. Swan also deals with conflict with an awful lot of tact and diplomacy, so and you tend to do that very well as well, and that's also related to oak, which is very much about the nurturer as well. Swan is also very protective of her family. She's also very wise, as is oak as well, and both swan and oak tend to love beauty, to love art, to love creativity. So with that in mind, that is your reading, and I hope that that has been of value for you as you move forward. And I hope that that helps you to make some more decisions in the future.